Hey there, welcome to Hiking for Health Gear Reviews. Today I'm going to review this little guy that's over here over my shoulder. The Sawyer Squeeze water filter. So here's a quick little break from my gear review up in the Sierras to add to the gear review while I'm down here in the Central Valley oak forest. Because I realized when I shot the stuff in the Sierras that I forgot some of the little technical aspects of the Sawyer Squeeze. So real quickly, Sawyer Squeeze is about 3 ounces in weight. So that's not bad at all when you're backpacking. It's pretty light. There is a Sawyer Mini that is out. I'll probably do a separate review on that because it deserves a separate review. That is a little bit lighter because it's smaller. As I say in the other review, Sawyer kind of guarantees you 100,000. I think it's gallons. I think I said liters in the other review, but it's gallons now that I checked it. They promise you 100,000 gallons. I bet it could do it. But boy, you really got to take care of it. And one of the ways you take care of it is it should at least last you a full hiking season. But you have to store it in a cool, dry place. I think I did mention in the Sierra part that you'll see coming up that you can't let them get frozen. You also don't want to keep them wet all the time and things like that. You need to let them dry. They need to be stored in a cool, dry place. And they may end up lasting you longer than one hiking season because they do promise 100,000 gallons. But that's only if you're back flushing it properly, cleaning it properly, things like that. And you get instructions on how to do that. So follow those. Anything else? Oh yes, and it retails for anywhere, depending on you, sometimes you can find sales and things like that. Anywhere between $20 and $35. So considering it's something that will last you at least one entire hiking season, that's not cost prohibitive, at least in my opinion. Sometimes you can find them for $30 in a twin pack, so you get two. And like I will say in the other review, it can be modified to be part of a gravity feed system with a bladder bag and everything. So Sawyer Squeeze. All right, let's head back up to the Sierras and continue the review from there. So the Sawyer Squeeze is, as far as I'm concerned, a pretty darn good and helpful water filtering tool, especially compared to some of the old filters I used to have to use when I backpacked in the olden days when I was a young man. The pump filters and things, that was semi-heavy and you had to carry a lot more. This is it, and as you can see, it can fit on top of certain water bottles. The Smart Water bottle is the best one I found that works. It also works well with a couple of bladder systems, including the Knock water bladder and things like that. It'll fit on it. And I have actually seen on this very trip the thru hikers using the Sawyer Squeeze with the Knock doing gravity filtering. They can hang the Knock bottle up and the Sawyer Squeeze works and fills up their liter bottles and things like that. So Sawyer Squeeze, this is a pretty simple one. Very nice. I like the flow. I understand that they say something like 100,000 liters or something like that before you have to replace it and things like that. I don't know. Even with proper care and talking to several thru hikers on just this trip who have been using them and stuff like that, and I've been using a Sawyer Squeeze for several years on several trips and things like that, I have found that the flow rate starts to slow down, even with proper care and back flushing and cleaning and all that kind of stuff. After a decent amount of liters, I'll admit it, quite a bit, but definitely not 100,000, it starts to slow down to a point where, yes, it is still filtering, but it's just such a pain. It's like this is not going at the it's going to take me an hour to fill this bladder, so what's the point type of thing. So yeah, there is that. Also, you do have to be aware, it's not a knock on them at all, that if these are brought below freezing temperature, they're no good anymore. They'll crack, they'll have all kinds of issues and things like that. You do also have to be careful when you're screwing it on a bottle such as this and things like that. You don't screw it too tightly and crack the little plastic washer that's inside that helps seal it and things like that. And also a couple of times now on just this trip, and this is a brand new Sawyer Squeeze, on just this trip, when I unscrew it from the bottle, the little washer falls out. And that can be a problem. If you don't notice it, you end up losing it. It's almost useless without that washer. Now, when you buy a Sawyer Squeeze, you get an extra one, so you'll probably want to carry that with you just in case. But yeah, that is an issue, that they will start falling out once you've used them for a little bit. But ultimately, Sawyer Squeeze, I give it a 4 out of 5. As far as water filtration systems go, it's really good. It's versatile. It can, like I say, be put on water bladders and used as a gravity feed system. You can put it directly on a dirty bottle and drink right from it. Or as I've done is, I had my dirty water in here, and then you can see my water bottle there in my backpack. Hopefully you can see that if I'm aiming the camera right. And then I squeeze the now clean water into that bottle that I know I can just drink out of that one. And then I have this one for backup. So it works pretty well. Sawyer Squeeze.